Hi, this is Matthew Almeida. In my last video, I spoke about the importance of answering the basic doubts about religion. That is there a God? If there is a God, is there one God or many gods? Which religion teaches us the truth about God, or which religion is teaching us the right way to worship God? Because if there is a God, probably I am worshipping the wrong ones and offending the true God. That is to say, how do I know whether I am worshipping the true and the living God and following the right path? I myself faced these questions and I began a search to know the truth about God and religion. I designed a standard to test each religion and religious founder, and the standard is historicity and continuity. For more, please watch my previous video. In this video, we are going to discuss about Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, and other indigenous Indian religions, and whether they offered any truth about God. I may not discuss the whole teachings about each religion, as I am more concerned about the historicity of the religious founder and their claims. In easy words, we need to find whether whatever supernatural claim they made are true or not. The best way to study any religion is to read the books written by the followers of the religion itself. And the best thing is then to visit the places of worship and talk to the religious leaders there and get more information. Even better is to read the scriptures of each religion to get the best perspective. In this, my dear friends, we also need to make sure that we respect each other's freedom to follow any religion and respect each other's religious beliefs. However, this does not mean that I have to agree with the religious beliefs of the other person or I have to give in to it. I can stick on to my own religious beliefs. Let's begin with Hinduism. As an Indian, we are all influenced by Hinduism and have direct encounter with it. We will have Hindu friends and we must have visited their homes for festivals like Ganesh Chaturthi and Diwali. As a child, I was fascinated by TV series like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Hanuman and so forth, which were broadcasted on Doordarshan. We were so influenced by it that they became our favorite shows and we always thought that it was real. In my search for God and His religion, I started studying Hinduism. Hinduism, my dear friends, has influenced the culture of our country and the values we hold on to. There are many good values we can learn from the epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata or by reading Bhagavad Gita. Our family values and cultural tolerance, respect for religious beliefs, and syncretic lifestyle is a result of impact of Hinduism on our culture. Of course, there are those cultural or social systems like the caste system and sati, etc., that encourage inequality among the society. But we are here to discuss about the historicity and validity of the claims. Speaking from the point of view of historicity, we know that Hinduism is based on mythological figures and epics. Some people feel offended when we say that these stories or deities are mythological. They feel they are real and try to prove it historically. But my dear friends, fact is fact. Let's consider the claims of these people and examine the evidences they propose to prove that these epics are true and real. First, some people, in order to prove that the Ramayana really happened, propose the fact that the floating stones found in Rameshwaram are found and to be a solid evidence to prove that Ramayana really happened. The fact is that such stones, which are called sedimentary rocks or pumice stones or rocks, are found elsewhere all over the world apart from Rameshwaram. These rocks are created from volcanic eruptions and composed of tiny air bubbles which make them extremely low in density. When we place such rocks in water, they float instead of sinking. Such stones are found not only in India but also elsewhere in the world. In 2011, Italy and Turkey led pumice mining production at 4 and 3 million tons respectively. Other large producers at or exceeding a million tons were Greece, Iran, Chile, and Syria. Total world pumice production in 2011 itself was estimated at 17 million tons. Therefore, whether you write someone's name on it or not, it will still float because of its scientific components. Second, Ram Setu. The claim is that Ram Setu or Adam's Bridge is made from the same pumice stones, and NASA has declared it as being made by men. Well, NASA has made it very clear that they haven't said anything like this. Scientific explanation is that this bridge is naturally formed from limestone shoal and coral. Till 1480 it was passable, and then later natural calamities caused it to get destroyed. Thus it's clear that Ram Setu is not made from pumice stone. Such strip of land is called isthmus, which joins two masses of lands. We can see a similar one in North America, between North America and South America. But then they say, how did the author come to know about it if Ram Setu has been formed only some 1,000 years back? Well, this is the very reason why we have to examine when and how the epics came to be written, for which an open mind is required to understand when the epics were written. Regarding how it came to be mentioned in the stories, then let me inform my viewers that in historical research there is a method called critical analysis or higher criticism. This method proposes that an event or an object or geographical structure already existed and then stories were created about it. For example, let's take the story of the hare on the moon. If you have not read this story, I'll put the link in the description. You can have a look. According to this story, the hare caught fire but did not burn. Impressed by this, Shaka blessed the hare and took his essence and left it on the moon, which is why we could see the shape of a hare on the moon. It's only when man landed on the moon that we came to know that this shape is caused because of the craters on the moon. Maybe this story has faded away during the time now, but we still create such stories. For example, let's take the example of Dan Brown's novel, The Da Vinci Code, based on which a movie was made. It's a fictional story revolving around Catholic Church, Jesus Christ marrying a woman, and the city of Rome. However, we all know that events and certain places are fictional in this book. For example, now Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, etc. have all mentions of sophisticated devices which we really find, and buildings and cities which are real in the sense. However, this does not mean that these superheroes are real. A third one, some epics even mention horses. Historically, Indian horses got extinct by 8000 BC, and there was no mention of horses until the later Bronze Age of Harappa civilization. Chariots are also mentioned in some epics, but chariots is belonging to the Aryan culture. The Arabs or Persians brought horses to India, and since they were more useful for war because they ran faster than the elephants which were used earlier, horses were in great demand. Thus, if the epics are true and historical, they should have occurred somewhere between 2000 BC and 500 AD. However, there is no archaeological proof or no records to prove that these epics happened during this timeline where horses and chariots appear in Indian history or on the Indian soil. Fourth, the drowned city of Dwarka. A lot of people believe that since the city of Dwarka has been discovered underwater, they already relate it to the existence of Krishna and claim it to be true that he is indeed a god. Well, it's mentioned in the scriptures that the city got drowned, and now the city is discovered. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently visited this place and even did a puja underwater. Shall we say then that the story of Krishna is true? Well, my dear friends, again we need to analyze this using the method of higher criticism. Let me mention to you about one more city which was claimed to be the city of gods and then got drowned. I am talking about city of Atlanta in Greece, which was believed to be the dwelling place of the gods in Greek mythology. This city also has been discovered underwater. Shall we say now that even Greek gods exist? Now, just because these figures are mythological or these stories are mythological, my dear friends, we don't have to mean that these persons like Ram or Krishna never existed. They may have existed and we don't have evidences about it. This does not mean that whatever has been handed down to us through these stories must have literally happened. We must remember that in those days when stories were written, lot of metaphors and metonyms or symbolic language was used. Of course, it carried on with over-exaggerations and so forth. Hinduism, my dear friends, however, is not circulated around these deities or epics only. It's clear that Hinduism is not one single religion, but a syncretism of many religious beliefs which were practiced in India. There are tribals who had their own deities and thus their own stories. There are some historical figures who revived a sense of spirituality, like Sai Baba of Shirdi. He is also claimed to have performed many miracles. People hold a great devotion to such saintly men. However, Sai Baba himself never claimed that he is either incarnation of God or God himself.